Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Good Cop 2.0, the podcast. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. And with me today is Jeffrey Zamora, who is a harm reduction advocate, and Juan Jose Cirion, president of Mexico and the World Vaping. It's an NGO, right?
Yes.
And we're here to talk about Latin America. I know that there was a big focus on it during one of the days at COP here, Good Cop. What is happening? Because there is a variety of different regulations, from a little bit more relaxed, fairer. There's nothing relaxed about regulations, let's be honest, to full blown, it's against your rights to access tobacco harm reduction in Mexico. So let's start from the bad. Or the ugly.
The ugliest.
The ugliest.
Yeah, in Mexico, they are trying to impose a ban at a constitutional level. And the worst part is that apparently it became of, mishappen of the last president.
Yeah, because their kid vaped.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? Your father is the president, and to punish you, he punishes an entire nation. Yeah. That kid will need therapy. What is that kid's name? Because I want to get him therapy. We should start a GoFundMe for therapy for having a dictator for a father.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember his name. They use a very, bad word to quote him, but I won't say it.
Do not use that.
Yeah. The worst part is that this ban is against the criteria of the Supreme Court of Mexico, who already said that any prohibition is unconstitutional. So that's why it was thrown to the Constitution, so they can challenge the criteria of the Supreme Court. The worst part is that, considering that there are three political powers in Mexico, the one that is who determines what is constitutional and what is not is the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And they broke the division of powers by stating that I don't care what you say, I'm going to make the prohibition in the Constitution.
That, to me, makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it should make, and this isn't about vaping. It is about leadership, people that are elected into roles. And at the end of the day, any government official is a public elected servant. Like, let's get the words. You are here to serve the people, not to put on your will of the people.
Yeah. That makes a totalitarian state when that happens. If the president can control all the other powers, then he's a dictator.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. In Greece, we have siestas. Can you imagine the president of Greece decides, I don't want anyone napping in the afternoon anymore, and I'm going to make it unconstitutional for you to, and that makes you a traitor. If you break the Constitution, if you do something knowingly to break the Constitution, isn't that grounds for treason at some point?
I
You're
don't know
the lawyer.
legally.
I'm not the lawyer. Well, aren't you the lawyer?
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
I know, but you know what? I understand lawyers know different parts of the law. But if you think about it, if you do something purposely that is unconstitutional.
I don't know. It's kind of difficult to say if you can start some trial against that for treason. But the thing is that what is happening is that they don't care the criteria. They don't care about the division of powers in Mexico. And they are just imposing the will of a president who is mad with his kid.
And a former president.
A former president.
And now we've got the current president. She just doesn't care.
She got what the other president said and applied it and make it happen.
Oh, boy. And now let's move on to Costa Rica, where it's all about pura vida.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Most of the time, at least on certain aspects, yes. When it comes to harm reduction, even though that there's some sort of plan harm reduction strategy and plan, nationwide when it comes to a lot of services and illicit drugs and a bunch of stuff. When it comes to harm reduction related to people unable or unwilling to smoke, it's a huge mess. Unfortunately, during the last few years, we have encountered a lot of attempts to trying to prohibit, trying to ban stuff, trying to over-regulate stuff. So we have been dealing with that. This present time is kind of uncertain, unfortunately. So, yeah, it is a big mess. It have been regulated since 2012, but we have been going, like many other countries, especially in Latin America, the whole region is kind of volatile at this present time.
Mm-hmm.
We have countries that have no regulation, countries that are starting to get regulations, countries that have completely banned this stuff, just like Mexico,
Brazil, is
Argentina,
and
Argentina,
Uruguay,
Venezuela.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind away when when elected servants don't listen to the people who elected them. Trust me, we're no better in Canada. We are no better in Canada. Like, the amount of taxation on this product has increased illicit trade. They handed over. We're currently going to be the first country in the world, if we don't do something to stop it, the first country in the world that can sue vape companies, people like me, advocates, pretty much Health Canada too, for future possible costs to healthcare. And the thing is, they don't have to prove them in court. They just have to certify them as a government, and we can't even defend ourselves. Like, they can make up, like, and to listen to people talk about, well, all the increased popcorn lung disease. I'm like listening to these people and I'm like, oh my goodness, the anti-tobacco crowd has gotten to you. And I can't prove that this was written, but I also can't prove, we can't prove that all these prohibitive regulations are being written and being interfered by outside NGOs into government.
And talking about Canada, Canada has been a kind of a leader when it comes to harm reduction over the years, right?
Yeah.
And they have seen so much stuff and crap, to be honest, that have been said for a lot of substances and a lot of substance abuse. For example, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the 60s, 70s, they said that if you use cannabis, for example, if you were a black guy, you were going to rape white women. And if you use cannabis, if you were a white woman, you were going to have desire to sleep with black guys and all that stuff. And what is the difference between what is happening now that you said that they can now pretty much sue you for future unproven health concerns?
No, absolutely. And let's talk about the legalization of cannabis in Canada. I mean, Justin Trudeau won with a majority government on that one issue. I don't care what anyone says. 2015, he became Prime Minister of Canada. So we can spark a joint whenever we want.
Which is actually your right, of course, if you're not doing harm to anybody.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to, I don't know, is cannabis legal in any parts of Latin America?
Some parts in Uruguay, for example. In Costa Rica, therapeutic cannabis, it's allowed. When it comes to recreational, they have been trying to debate it on Congress a lot. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, have not been passed.
And Uruguay, do we know what kind of vape regulations they have in Uruguay?
Uruguay, vaping is not allowed. It's completely banned whatsoever. Heat not burn, it's allowed.
Okay, well, I mean, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, and cannabis is recreational use allowed.
I see heat not burn is regulated like a tobacco product in our country. Zyn is a pharmaceutical, but we don't have Zyn. We have Zonic. But we have a party, the conservatives that are like trying to free the Zin. I just really need to talk to them to tell them we have no Zin here. So I don't know how it's going to be freed. Again, although the intentions are great, the words and the language, and that to me is important too. Telling someone that something is against the Constitution means that the government is telling you, I'm telling you this to protect you.
Mm-hmm. And remember that the right to health is a right and not an obligation. So when we are imposed with some ways of living, they are violating our rights, especially the right to health, where we have to choose the way we want to have, for example, a treatment. If I want vaping as a treatment to quit smoking, then it has to be my right to decide. And when they ban it, they are violating my human rights.
They so are. They, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. I keep going. I tell people that this is what's happening in Mexico, and they're like, no,
No.
this is 2025. We wouldn't do that. But lo and behold, we're doing that in every single country in a different way. You're looking at, just down the street here in Geneva. They will not engage with us. They'll engage with us in Twitter and yesterday I was called a merchant of addictions. I just found it so Shakespearean. I was just like, oh, my Romeo, I will come meet you at the three-legged chair.
Yeah.
But like, who uses terms like merchant of addiction? Like, I did ask him what flavor the Kool-Aid was that they handed out at COP, but people are being, they could say the same about us. We're indoctrinated, but but we're not going to talk about us. We're going to talk about them. People are like, tobacco control is so focused on only one thing and smoking, and it only happening their way. I just can't help but feel that they're doing all this because, one, they want to keep their jobs, which is fine. You create a problem. Why put up that death clock? You're just showing that that death clock they have there? They have a death clock saying how many people have died since FCTC, and that number keeps growing since for 20 years. GATC put up a death clock.
Way to go to show how failing your...
Yeah. To me, that just shows how much you failed because why are you showing that all these deaths? Those are your failures. Over 20 years, you haven't changed your position.
In more than $1 billion.
Yeah. More than $1 billion.
To fail.
Yeah. Where do you think the next FCTC is going to be?
The conference?
Yeah.
I don't know. This year that is here is because nobody wanted hostage.
Yeah.
Because of the problems in Panama.
Exactly. And pretty much overall, I don't think that there's a lot of the parties in the countries are not perceiving any value about this.
Just spending money.
Yeah, spending money for no reason.
Yeah. I'm like secretly hoping it's in Ottawa. Only because we can do so much there. Okay. The laws are on our favor.
Yeah.
Still, again, I don't know what will happen in 2 years, but I technically hope it'll be in Ottawa. Let's say that's GATC headquarters in Ottawa. And GATC seems to control the FCTC, so why wouldn't they have it in their backyard? But that also happens to be my backyard.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Well, gentlemen, how can people help in the Latin Americas? Like, what's the best? Like, how can we help Mexico?
I don't know. The most important thing is that the consumers are informed now. It's not the same as another products. Normally, the people who vape know what they're doing, know that it's not as harmful as tobacco, regular tobacco. And I think that the best way to help is to give information to the people so they can choose with this information.
Okay. Education.
Yeah.
That's my number one thing. And you, Jeffrey?
Well, the good, like Juanquito was saying, the good thing about people who use harm reduction products is that they're pretty well informed. So I think that what they can do is either get closer to the community that actually is involved in the harm reduction movement, or either just to inform the people around, this vaping and nicotine pouches and heat not burn, and all these strategies, all these harm reduction movement began by a word of mouth, and just people talking to each other and saying, hey, this helped me quit smoking, why don't you give it a try, know that you smoke. And that's how it started, and that's how it's been going, even though after the huge media push to ban this stuff and to portray it as it was the such a bad thing and blah blah blah. At the end, it have continued to grow. It's either from 115 to 150 million, depending on who you ask. People using these products, having quit smoking with these alternatives, safer alternatives. So it's going to continue to do that. And if you know somebody that is smoking and you have received some sort of benefit or you have been able to quit smoking using these products, like many people have, just talk about it.
Exactly. Share the information. And that's kind of how this entire market grew. And this is how we created a revolution. And this is how we quit smoking, because we shared our stories. And we cannot stop because there are a lot of people trying to put a muzzle on us. And that won't happen.
And it started with a guy, with a scientist, a Chinese scientist, looking for a way to help his father quit smoking. And then it continued to another guy on a forum talking about how to mod a bigger electronic cigarette.
Yeah.
And it started from there.
Exactly. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, thank you very much. Again, these podcasts are so quick. They're short, but it's to the point. Folks, go out there. If there's anything that you've learned is about using your voice, share your story, continue to share your story, and also share your support for Latin America, especially Mexico.
Yes.
Let's help them get out of this, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for listening, and make it a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.